Welcome, everyone. Wanted to spend a little bit of time talking about a very important update that we made to NeuroBlu at the end of June and early July that you'll see available, that one that are very excited to spend time discussing with you. Most important aspect of that, and there are several that are inclusive with this as well, is a major revision to our data architecture and underlying NeuroBlu dataset that we refer to as our Common Data Model, or CDM 2.0. This includes 4 new tables that are added to our CDM, as well as 8 major updates to existing tables, all that will show up and conform as OMOP version 5.4 standards, and show up as in the first iteration of this as the NeuroDB 22R2. Within that, one thing we're running to be incredibly focused on is the visit detail table with new visit types, inclusive of telehealth and now lab visits where available. Now this is focused primarily on our partners that have this information available, which we do see with our newest partner, Harris Center, but we should see this going forward. In addition, we worked with our clinician teams and our clinical experts to take a look at our mapping of how we have had visit types in the past for some of our previous EHR instances, and we want to more properly reflect actual emergency visits and break that out from unscheduled visits and conform to CMS POS codes where possible. In addition, we do see drug concept IDs. We made major changes on the structure of this and moved this down to the component level, which includes ingredient strength and route of administration where possible, as well as mapping this to NDC and RX norm codes if they're available in the record count itself, and interpreting, allowing us for then to calculate data supply and added records where available with unstructured data when that is missing, or we previously have not had that in the past. One thing that is of a major note, we're very excited to include and have a space for this, as well as the implications of what this does longer term, is now having procedure codes, specifically CPT4 and HCPCS code, that are available to make us aware, as well as to develop against psychotherapies and all other procedures. Lastly, two updates I did want to highlight before we move into the structure itself is the clinician credentialing that's available in the provider detail table. We'll see per provider, there are multiple credential points that are there, as well as within the demographic and person tables. You'll see more specificity and improvements that we made with the race, education, and gender of our patients.
With the latest release of the June NeuroBlu update, alongside 22R2, we have also pushed in DSM-5 maps for ICD-10 and ICD-9 codes to both level 1 and level 2 groupings. With the latest release of NeuroBlu updates, we've now added DSM-5 mappings for ICD codes in the include templates. Please copy and use for those purposes. With the recent updates to CDM 2.0, we now have included more tables in the Data Explorer tab. These include, but are not limited to, drug ERA, procedure occurrence, procedure vocab, provider, and visit detail. With the latest release of new data in the NeuroBlu platform, we've gone ahead and updated some of the functions and added new functions in order to access them. With the inclusion of new visit types like failed encounter and telehealth, all you'll need to do is use the get visit function with the same parameters as before, and it will return the new information. In order to access provider specialty, simply merge the visit detail to the provider table using the provider ID and look at the specialty source value. This will include important information if the provider is a social worker, an MD, a psychologist, or a nurse. For medications, we have two sources of new information, one of which is already built into an old function called getDrug. This now contains the lowest level of granularity of drug dosage, and the drug ERA table, which collapses down medications within a 30-day gap on the same active ingredient. In order to use the new procedure information, all you need to do is use the getVisit function and specify with a string a particular type of visit. For example, on the screen, you'll see psychotherapy. Lastly, we've added more categories of race and ethnicity to the getRace function. No change in your workflow. You'll just have access to more granular information.